My 49 male wife 48 female left the family for her affair partner a year ago, but now she says she wants to fix things. Before we get started, make sure to subscribe so you will never miss a video. So let's get started. My 49 male wife 48 female left the family for her affair partner a year ago, but now she says she wants to fix things. My wife and I have been married for just over 9 years. We have an 8-year-old son together. She was a full-time as a HM after our son was born. However, in April 2019, she went back into the workforce, working part-time as an assistant for a manager at a medical software sales company. She was bumped, but she wasn't pulling in a lot in terms of salary, but I was happy for her because I hoped that a job would be motivating for her. She had already complained that she wished I could be more spontaneous and interesting, but despite attempt at counseling, she can never explain what interesting meant. However, 3 months into her job, I found her to be a more happy prison, less critical of everything I do, and a more patient mother to her son. Our intimate life had basically been dead for around 5 years, and she had shown interest in recharging that. What I didn't know was that she had begun an affair with a surgeon, now 53 male she met at a medical conference. Her job involved travel to go to medical conferences and visit clinics and hospitals. The surgeon lived in and near a big city, and she would use work as an excuse to see him. Swent them behind my back, as she would later tell me, from July 2019 to around April 2020, when she admitted her work was much more remote during COVID than she had convinced me it was, and she had been driving to see her AP. She told me the AP was interesting, and he was everything that I wasn't needing. He made a lot of money, had lucrative side business with his family, and lectured around the country and loved the travel and enjoyed life. She said she regretted becoming a mom because it has made her stay with me for the greater part of a decade, and that she needed time to think. She told me to follow her and had already loaded up her car and left to stay in your room that she was subletting from a friend. I was left to deal with a fallout including my son's traveling levels of anxiety and his increased inability to get along with anyone in school. He scared himself to steep thinking his unlovable, and my wife refused to return calls. The only thing she did do was send me a letter establishing the date of separation and her intention to file for divorce a year from the date of separation. People are all telling me to file for divorce as soon as our state let us, and tell the court that my wife abandoned the family. 5 months ago, she tried to get me to sign a separation agreement with bogus terms, which I refused and decided to go see a lawyer. Then 2 months ago, she started talking to me about how she wants to be more civil with me from now on. The last week, she asked to meet it. She starts crying and saying her rapee was abusive, and that he told her that he was divorcing his wife of 3 years, 26 female, who he was separated from. Turns out, the wife was in another city finishing up her final year of graduate school, but when she found out about the affair, she went psycho, and the apist stood by and did nothing as his wife called my wife's employer, which caused her to have to leave her job. He merely admitted that he didn't adore his wife and wanted to let her follow her dreams, but had a hard time dealing with long distance, and pretty much admitted that his wife said she was okay with him having one-night stands, but he regrets hurting her now, and for letting it drag on. The API also said nothing when his wife texted my wife that he was not leaving her, and that they would file restraining orders if she ever contacted them again. My wife said that she had a moment of insanity and that she was willing to get therapy, but at no point that she intended to be malicious and that she was a victim of his lies. She said she was struggling and said she wanted to move back in and be a family again. What do I do? How do I deal with someone who has caused so much pain? Ever cogitating again, I can't guarantee that I won't develop feelings for her again. Most importantly, I don't know how to deal with this in a way to inflict the least trauma on my son. I had been prepared to respond to a divorce petition, but my wife said she'd lose it if I filed right now, and said she just wanted to find the love we once had.